Views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Everyone, welcome to Angel Healing House Radio. My name is Candy Hough. Through my business, Angel Healing House, which can be found at angelhealinghouse.com. I'm a writer and an author, an international radio host, a Reiki master teacher, and an angel practitioner. My inspirational books entitled Angels of Faith and One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, are based on my recollections of our life in spirit, and they help us to remember our divine, eternal natures. Through Angel Healing House, I help people to let go of sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, and regret that has kept them locked in the prison of the past, and I help them to let go of worry, stress, and control, which has kept them focused on an imagined future. And once they are no longer living in the past or the future, they can start to live in the present moment, which is the only place that they can experience synchronicities, miracles, and magic. As an angel practitioner, I help people to see their lives from a higher perspective with the help of an extraordinary group of angels who call themselves the Posse of Angels. Just like my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, I'm very excited to take some of your calls for that free angel advice. You can call into the show on 1-800-930-2819. But before we get to those callers, I'd like to wish everyone a new month of September. Can't believe it's September already. And also, happy ending of Mercury retrograde as it is supposed to end today, and happy full moon. And I've spoken many times in my radio programs about different rituals and quiet reflective time that we can take during a full moon to release anything that is not in our highest good for the greatest good of all concerned. And we do this in order to open ourselves to experience the new coming in. And this moon is a harvest moon. And for those who have followed the voice of spirit and have created those wonderful projects, brought forth those endeavors, they will see then the blossoming of those seeds and that harvest this coming fall. And you know, I move forward its influence as it doesn't get out of its big shadow for another 10, 12, some even say 2 weeks before the time it takes to turn around and go fully forward. So along with the usual precautions of making triply sure that we check our travel plans, we, if possible, hold off signing legal documents, and of course backing up our technology, there is a different kind of energy with this retrograde, as it's very much mixed with the explosive energies of the solar eclipse that we just had, sparking within us an excitable energy of longing for something different and being open to embarking on new adventures and new experiences. This is creating a bit of an uneasy kind of antsy feeling in us, like we know something is new on the horizon, but we can't quite see what that looks like yet. And although it may feel like it, this hazy and hidden time of slowing down and standstill that we experienced with Mercury retrograde, it offers us a time to review our accomplishments, in order to give ourselves credit and the much needed recognition for what we have achieved. And I know, and I've spoken about this many times, we simply do not give ourselves enough credit for what we've done. Now, with this reviewing, I want you to take a moment to think back over your life and think back to the challenges that you might have overcome. For example, many people overcame divorce, financial uncertainty, hardships with health, challenges within relationships, maybe a complete loss of faith. Heck, I think I went through all of these at once. But the Posse of Angels is saying that with Mercury going forward, many of us will see ourselves flying off to perfect locations. We will be presented with our perfect partners and our perfect professions. For those of us who have already done the work of clearing and cleansing our emotional triggers, Mercury retrograde is giving us a time of closure on the people and situations that we are over and done with. This will finally clear the way for us to move on to lives which are much more aligned with who we authentically are now. In any event, please do remember that a Mercury retrograde is traditionally a time when things come to a halt. And we can then recharge our batteries and take full advantage and be rested when the new comes in for us. And with it being a brand new month of September, the Posse of Angels have decided to have the theme of this month of welcoming the new into our lives. And so many of us are on the cusp of anticipating the fulfillment of our prayers that we've asked for. The Posse of Angels have entitled today's program, Ask for Your Most Beneficial Life. Not an easy one. So the Posse of Angels have often asked me, why do humans ask for an easy life? With many in the Posse of Angels never having experienced a human life, and they're not concerned with things like time or money or material circumstances, I can see why their question was a valid one. But their question prompted me while I was reading an email from a client who wrote that she found the strength to leave a dishonoring relationship. She explained that she was starting over again and she was opening up her own healing practice. She explained that she was starting over again and she admired and was impressed by my accomplishments, establishing my Angel Healing House radio program, which is now almost going into its 7th year, being a #1 best-selling international author, as my book, I'm an Angelic Walk-In, went #1 on the 888. And as she's starting her life again, she asked me if I had any tips to help her make her life easy. And what got my attention, everyone, is when she asked for an easy life. I replied to her, and I thought to myself, how often do we look at successful people and have a tendency to enviously look at the end result, their successes, and we never really take the time to wonder what the person's journey was like along their way to their success. So, this was the email that I wrote to her. I said, thank you very much for your email. When I read that you wanted some tips on how to make your life easy, it made me think back over my own journey to where I find myself today. And if there is one word that I would use to describe my life, it would not be the word easy. Along my journey, I drew to myself an emotionally and mentally abusive marriage for 22 years married, 26 years together, in which I allowed myself to be codependent as I became a controlled, silent victim of bullying and abuse, deeply depressed and barely able to keep my life force going. I knew that if I stayed within this marriage, that eventually one of those suicide attempts would have succeeded. Finding my inner strength to break away after years of silence and abuse. I chose only to blame myself, to see myself as a victim, instead of doing the work and healing myself from within. I very quickly drew to myself another controlling bully to replace my controlling ex, except this time my boyfriend was much worse. And I write all about this in my book, my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, because this time my boyfriend was a deceitful con man who preyed on newly divorced women. This was a seasoned, smooth, very handsome liar who took advantage of women's vulnerability and was very proud of his prowess of fleecing women of their money. Well, after 4 years together, after which I was left with very little, both monetarily and emotionally, I surrendered to God to help me find a way out of the darkness. It was through my angelic walk-in experience in January 2003 that saw me connect to my divine eternal nature, and my reality began to change to a life of peace, joy, harmony, which was overflowing with love. Similar to my journey, there are many examples of famous people who have experienced much, much heartache and very harsh conditions which they endured along their journey to success. You know, for instance, let's take Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey's success was littered with countless obstacles as she survived an abusive childhood, race discrimination, and many, many career setbacks. She was actually fired from her job as a television reporter because she was seen to be, in quotes, unfit for TV. Another example of a road to success was the inspirational speaker and writer and author who we lost too soon was Maya Angelou, who was very open about the time she spent in her years as a sex worker. She was a teen mother, and she worked as a prostitute and a madam when she was a struggling mother. Now, instead of being ashamed of her past, while she admits that it was not a pleasant time for her, she respects what she did in order to survive. And with all of these stories that are made public, we get a small glimpse into the lives of famous people who model to us that it's not just the easy and pleasant events that we experience in our lives that deserve our focus. It's everything that is contained in the rich tapestry of our lives that provide us with a full, powerful life that contains both highs and lows, with challenges, triumphs, and ultimately transformation. And just like these women's stories, along with mine, the course that we chose to navigate, and the endurance and firm belief in ourselves through the rough waters of our lives, well, it made all the difference. It's important to remember that similar to the most accomplished sailors who do not learn how to sail in calm waters, the hardships we draw to ourselves to overcome often often does lead to our greatness. It's strange to think that in many instances we are who we are because of our challenges, not in spite of them, because we have been tested. And in this regard, the forming of a person's character is similar to the evolution of how a pearl comes about. You know, the oyster lies in its little bed at the bottom of the ocean, and many times it's invaded by a tiny parasite, which succeeds in getting into the very heart of the oyster. To combat this parasite, the oyster sends all of its healing resources to the site of the wound to bring about healing. In the process, the scar or healed wound becomes a pearl. You know, come to think of it, everyone, where there are no wounded oysters, there are no pearls. It's our challenges that provide us with the opportunities to strengthen and empower ourselves. You asked me if I had any advice or tips to impart to make your life easy. Well, people look at my husband Pete and myself and our life and they say, how is it possible that the two of you have accomplished so much in such a short amount of time? Well, our secret is very simple. We don't ask for things to be easy. Every time we heard the voice of God speaking through our hearts, telling us to step forward, even though it was illogical and irrational, even though we did not know precisely where we were going, we stepped forward in faith. And every time we stepped forward, we've been given the next miraculous piece of the puzzle toward realizing our dreams. We see ourselves as faithful children of God, co-creating with His, her, all that is God's will. In this way, is this the way of a life which is easy? Absolutely not. But the rewards are miraculous. They're magical and more extraordinary than our limited physical minds could ever comprehend. In fact, my greatest advice for you is not to ask for an easy life. Ask for God to give you the most beneficial and fulfilling life for your soul's expansion, in which you co-create ways to strengthen your courage, test your faith, and challenge you to fearlessly hold on to and follow your dreams. For once your dreams do come true, it is precisely because of those challenges and hardships suffered along the way that will make the realization of your dreams that much sweeter. I would wish you good luck in starting over again, but life is not about luck. It's about firmly establishing your heartfelt intentions and then co-creating them with God. By following God's signs, both easy and hard, you will allow He, she, it, all that is free rein to steer you to all the magic, the miracles, and blessings that you could possibly ever ask for. Now, the Posse of Angels is very kindly giving us a heads up as to what is coming in for many of us awakened conscious people as we head into September. Those of us who have brought every aspect of our lives into divine alignment through unconditional love and forgiveness, and have surrendered and no longer attached to pushing how life needs to give to us, dropping all attachments and expectations, we will be open to receive miracles and the fulfillment of our prayers. But in order for your prayers to be fulfilled, you may just get that perfect job offer. Yet it means it's in another state. You may be presented with your perfect love, and then you find out that he lives and works in a foreign country and he does not want to move. You may find out and be presented with an opportunity which takes all your skills and all your abilities that you're very good at, but you will be doing them in an area that you've never worked in before and will have to learn a whole new set of tools in which to use your talents, your gifts, and your abilities. The Posse of Angels is asking us, when God comes knocking at our door, in answers to the fulfillment of our prayers, will we say yes? Will we open that door, even if it's not in the expected, logical, rational way that we thought that it would be presented to us? Everyone, when I was pondering this question, my mother called. And that's just not unusual for my mother to call. And we had a lovely conversation. But there was an unusual part to it. She said she was reading a book by Danielle Steele, and there was a lovely poem in the front of it, and she read it to me. And when I heard this wonderful poem, I took it as a sign, as which I felt was an answer to my thoughts about stepping forward when God presents us with these doors in our lives for us to step forward. When the poet uses the word love in this poem, I chose to see it as loving ourselves so completely that we will step forward to embrace life when God and the angels show us the fulfillment of our dreams, even though it's not in the expected way, even though it's not in the way that we're attached to, even though it will be in a different location, even though it gets us out of our comfort zone. And the poem asks us, please do not let life pass you by. And the poem goes like this. It only happens once, not twice, the moments vanishing like mice, scurrying past, life much too fast, and only for the very brave, the strong, the true. And when the moment comes to you, don't let that moment pass you by. For in the twinkling of an eye, the love, the opportunity is gone, the moment dead. An empty ringing in your head, your heart will know when fate has whispered in your ear. Oh, never fear, beloved friend, for in the end, it's worth the price, the fee, the cost, when all is lost, but the love or this opportunity is won. When true love comes for yourself, there is but one. The Posse of Angels is urging us, please everyone. And they usually don't get as urgent as this, but they say, please everyone, go beyond your comfort zone, because it's in stepping beyond your comfort zone that you will be shown how to beautifully, magnificently shine your light on the planet for the greatest good of your soul's expansion and the greatest good of all concerned. They're saying, why do you think after all the healings, the clearings, the cleansing, all the psychic readings that you've gotten, all the workshops, all the self-help books, all the alternative things that you've done, where do you think it was leading you to? It was leading you back to the divine eternal nature, and for you to step into that and be that example of it on the earth plane. So go beyond your comfort zone. Take that leap of faith. Don't let life pass you by. Go to where you've never been before. Say yes to a new love. Do not think what you'll be giving up, thinking of how much more you will be able to create with that honoring and respectful love by your side. Do not let that new opportunity pass you by, for they are assuring us if we are being gifted and we are being blessed with the manifestation of these new things, then it means that we are more than ready and we have all of the capabilities to step forward to create those miraculous new experiences, not only for the greatest good of ourselves, but for the greatest good of all concerned. Now, we do have a few minutes before we go to break, and I have been getting quite a few people emailing me and asking me about a particular topic that has arisen, particularly, I guess, in the last 6 weeks. And this one comes from a longtime listener. Her name is Lana. And she says, what do you think of Doreen Virtue's Christian conversion? And many people are very upset. And if you do not know, Doreen has taken a new path with sharing her gifts on the planet. And she has, after years of getting a huge following, she has denounced the use of tarot cards. She has denounced channeling, not for anybody to do that anymore. Do not connect with angels, do not connect with archangels or ascended masters, and to strictly go by the Christian ethos of going only through Jesus and only through what the Bible says. And she has denounced mediumship as well. And I thought it was about time for me to make a public statement about this, as I do all those things. I said, hi, Lana. I hope you've been well. Doreen's Christian conversion, which many seem to be railing about, is not such a departure from her early beginnings, as she was brought up as a Christian Scientist. She's always lovingly and compassionately espoused the wonderful teachings of Mother Mary and Jesus in her work that she's done, and she continues to do the same now, albeit in a different form. Like all of us, Doreen has the free will to share the light on the planet in whatever way she most resonates with. And just like we shouldn't judge others, just like we wouldn't want others to judge us, I don't judge her. I love the quote by a Catholic nun, Mother Teresa, when someone asked her what she thought about different faiths, different religions, since she herself followed Catholicism. And she replied, God made different faiths and different religions not to separate us with judgment, but he made them so that each of us can find our own path to God. And this is the way that I see Doreen's. I bless her on her new path. I send her love, and I am so happy that she continues to share her light on the planet. You have been listening to me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio, and when we come back, we will be taking some of those callers for free angel readings. So see you soon.
Take your own journey with the angels with Claire Candy Hough's Heaven Sent Guided Angel Meditation CD, letting go of concerns and living in the now. This beautiful CD walks listeners through practical exercises to help free them from the burdens, worries, and concerns of daily life.
Walking a quarter of the way across the bridge, you see a bright, emerald green light and sense a loving presence. This is Archangel Raphael's green healing energies, nourishing and revitalizing you. Take a moment now to bathe in this green healing light.
Giving you much more than just relaxation and stress release, this wonderfully narrated CD provides vivid visualization, soothing and inspiring music, and an angel's choir that will bring you peace, clarity, and a newfound awareness. Visit angelhealinghouse.com today. To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Hough, angelic walk-in angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now 831-277-3716 or visit angelhealinghouse.com.
Hello, everyone. You're back with me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio, which airs every week at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on this lovely home of transformation talk radio. Before I launch into those callers, I would just like to give a shout out to one of the most extraordinary leaders in the New Age movement, the opening of the consciousness on the planet, who crossed over this past week, and her name was Louise L. Hay. She wrote one of the most extraordinary books ever written, which is You Can Heal Your Life. And I'm just getting shivers all over the place. God bless you, Louise, God, and for all the work that you did in supporting so many others and helping them. And it's no coincidence that she chose to cross over now after these very revealing solar eclipses, because these solar eclipses, you may not realize this, but it's given us an extra impetus to go out and be that shining light on the planet and be the very public face, as I have, putting my face on this book, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, be the public face of the new golden age of enlightenment in whatever way you choose. And with her bowing out of this physical environment or this physical realm, it says, okay, one less very important spiritual leader, metaphysician, a spiritual teacher on the planet. And it's saying, what will your legacy be? Will you step up? And will you be that walking example to take your message out? And all you need to do is to be in quiet reflection, say to God and the angels, I am ready to be the metaphysician. I am ready to be the spiritual teacher. And if you don't know how, you say, you show me how, God, the best way that I can serve. And then you wait for the signs on how to step forward. So let's go to our first caller. First caller is Stephanie in New York. Stephanie, you're on the line with Claire Candy Hough and Angel Healing House Radio. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. What's happening with you?
Well, I'm excited but a little nervous. It looks like maybe there's a possibility that a Stuytown apartment could work out.
Oh my gosh!
Which would be very exciting. But I don't know. I mean, they're asking for more information, like more paperwork. So they contacted us for more paperwork. But then also what? Did something come up?
Yes. They want me to share with you, when Pete and I moved to Santa Barbara, this is very quick. When Pete and I moved to Santa Barbara is called America's Riviera, and there are very strict restrictions on who can start up a business, and you have to have 5 referees, 5 nominees who have lived in the area for more than, I think, 5 or 10 years to give you a referral. And we just moved there. And and we thought, well, I'm never going to be able to work there because I don't know any long-standing Santa Barbarans. And within 2 days, we met people. The carpenter who was working on the house, a person we bumped into at Lazy Acres, which is their Whole Foods, and we magically, synchronistically met, and it was like we met before, and we asked them, would you give us a reference? And each one of them said yes. So in the realm of what is possible, dear Stephanie, beloved Stephanie, they're saying, get out of your head. Even if you can't figure out how this is going to happen, you say, thank you for this working out for my greatest good and serving me for my highest benefit and the greatest benefit of all concerned. That means if it's supposed to happen, there's nothing that could stand in the way of God helping you co-create this. And if something better is coming along, then you let this go and you open the door for the realms of the miraculous to happen in your life. So they're saying either way, this is an indication that you are clear enough to receive the fulfillment of your dreams. Now, do remember that we are still very much in the shadow of good old Mercury retrograde. It doesn't get its big bum out of the way for another 2 weeks. People go, oh, September 5th, Mercury goes forward. Whoop! And they think it just goes forward. But that's not the case. So keep saying, thank you. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity for me to move. And I know you're working on it. And like a child, allow yourself to be led. Let's go to the cards. I'm getting excited for you.
Thank you. Well, I had 2 questions about that. They wanted me to choose a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom apartment, and also what month I could be ready to move by. And it's like, once that's it's set in stone. So I've been struggling with that too. Okay. I want to move as soon as possible. Okay,
so what I'm asking is 1 bedroom, and then I'm asking 2 bedroom, and they are saying a 1 bedroom. Now, also you don't know how long you're going to be there, but that's not your providence. That's not your worry. They're saying a one-bedroom, and they're saying, have you packed already?
No, in my mind I have.
No.
Why are they asking me?
They're ask if you really are feeling like you're going to move, then start to pack. Because it's those energies. I'm not saying, pack away your computer. I'm saying pack away those things that eventually need to be moved, but then maybe you're not moving anymore and that you're not using every day, those kind of things that you don't need. In this way, you're showing the universe, I am ready, and when the time is, I'll be flying off. And Pete and I, when we've gotten this, Nini, this like Twilight Zone song in our head, we're going to be moving. We have started to pack. And then it's miraculous how that energy has then drawn to ourselves a sign that was given to us, a signal by God and the angels to show us where we were moving to. It's illogical, it's irrational, but I'm telling you that if you're picking this up, then it's time to pack. Let me go to the cards. I'm excited for you. Okay. And they want you to, oh my gosh, new beginnings, Ace of Cups,
Yay.
new spiritual emotions around this feeling of finally being able to be free and to be stepping into this. You've dreamt about this. You may not have any recollections of it, but you've dreamt about this.
No, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
They're saying,
I dreamt a friend of mine who used to live in the East Village, but not anymore. I dreamt that I visited her in a different apartment and said I was walking by your old apartment. And I had the sense I lived sort of downtown. So I think that's what the dream. It was a long time ago, but.
Yeah, so it's so you've dreamt about this and you feel this and you just say, thank you. I don't need to know how and when this is going to work out, but I know it's going to work out for my greatest good. So there's that new beginning. Then you have the Knight of Cups. So far you've gotten the 2 cards in the cup suit, which is all about emotional fulfillment. Now this is action. This is about something being presented to you, a message being presented to you, a proposal about something opening up which will give you great emotional fulfillment. And the next card for you is this is the Hanging Fairy. This is the suspension card about seeing life. It's about seeing life from a different perception. And they want you to see life from the perception that there only is what Stephanie wants. There is only what Stephanie desires. And then the universe must step up and give that to you. But you must release how and when. So my advice to you, their advice to you is happy packing. Bubble paper, bubble wrap and paper, and they're showing me with strings and packing tape, and put on some happy music, and open up the windows if it's a lovely day, and just feel the joy in your heart about you stepping forward, and all those energies will then feed that vortex about that new opportunity to move coming to you. I hope that's been helpful, Stephanie.
Yes, thank you. And one other quick, I told them September because they asked me to pick a month, but I'm a little nervous because then that's like double rent. They don't prorate it. So Do they think I should change it to like later on so I can give a month's notice and have time to pack, or just go with September and just sort of suck it up?
Should she still take September? Yes, they're saying still take September.
Okay.
And you'll have plenty, and you'll have all the time that you need. And you, as a metaphysician, as a spiritual teacher, can bend time. You can say, "Thank you, I have all the time I need to pack," and then there'll be enough time. Okay. Sending lots of love, Stephanie. Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Bye. there is a perfect example. There's a perfect example of somebody whose intuition is getting very excited about a new move on the horizon. She's been given a little glimmer of something happening there. I'm not saying where, but Pete and I have until that's going to. But already it's getting us very excited about the next step for us. Let's go to our next caller. We have Beth in California. Beth, you're on the line with Angel Healing House Radio and me, Claire Candy Hough. How are you today?
Good. I'm doing great. Good morning. How are you?
I'm very, very well. When I saw your name, Beth, on my screen, the first thing that I heard was that you have made an enormous, an absolutely monumental shift in the last 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. It's like it's like you were running. I'm just getting shivers. You were running, and you were working so hard. And it seems like in the last 2 weeks that you have broken through. They're showing me that tape across the finishing line, and there's a very different energy about you now, and they're applauding you.
Mm-hmm. Don't make me cry. I just put on my makeup.
Oh my gosh, we are so proud of you. I'm not sure what this is in reference to, but it's everything. It's the culmination of absolutely everything, and they are so very proud of you.
Well, I think about what your talk was about today, about all the stuff that we do as opposed to it being easy, and it really, everything that I've ever accomplished always took energy and effort. And hello?
Yeah, can you repeat that?
Hello?
Beth, are you there?
I said that everything. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Okay. Yes, I can hear you too. I said that everything I've ever done that has mattered and that was important to me has always taken so much effort and attention and energy because it gave it more value and more, it just made it more meaningful to when I got to the finish line because of that. And I think that that's why effort is important, and it's important to put your energy and to do the work. Whether I'm not saying hard work, you can work passionately, but I've been able to really review my life and see that I've done a lot of hard work and passionate work at the same time, but both, and it makes arriving where I've arrived have so much more meaning to it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really powerful.
Yours, like many people's path, you did this through illness of health. You did this through financial troubles. You did this. It was not an easy path, but like the little Energizer bunnies, we got up when we fell over, and we just kept on, and we knew what was important.
Yes, exactly. So, and the thing is that it's all now. It's exciting because there's less. It feels like there's less type of work like that ahead. It's more about just showing up and making yourself available, as opposed to pushing. And it's more like accepting and allowing and stepping forward. It feels different now.
It does. It feels very different. And the Posse of Angels want to know is when are you starting your own radio show?
Those Posse of Angels really get you moving, in directions you don't even think about. They just step right in and just say whatever they want to say. They don't care whether it is uncomfortable for the other person or anything else. Well, I'll let them know whenever that opportunity presents itself, then I will take advantage of it. I did want to say something about the Doreen Virtue stuff. You're laughing.
Yes,
They're all
please.
giggling. I can feel them. I didn't know who she was because that wasn't a path that I took. But when I started listening to what you said, which was so beautiful and powerful and just exactly what we need to do when we show up to people now that are scared, and that's what I get from her, is that she's scared, and she's giving us all an opportunity to not go there with her by being angry at her and judging her and being afraid too. And so she's actually presenting us with a beautiful opportunity to have compassion and to also carry our own light, not use someone else's opinion to determine whether our light is, who we are is authentic and what we're experiencing is authentic. We have to stop having other people tell us that that's right or wrong, or if it's true. You have to start trusting in that inner well, that inner mystery of what's inside of us. So I just thought that was so beautiful what you said about it, because other people are reacting in her energy as opposed to holding the space for her. And you really held the space for her, which is really beautiful.
They're very angry because they keep saying, it's because of you that I'm a channel, I'm a mediumship. She patented actually the word certified in front of her angel practitioner courses. Nobody could use that word certified in front. It was as if hers was the only way that you could be an angel practitioner or an angel reader, a certified angel reader. And so many people are feeling betrayed. Many are saying, I'm not going to use your cards anymore or your books or things like that. But I don't think it's a happen chance that Louise L. Hay and also Doreen Virtue both bow out at the same time. It shows me that two very powerful spiritual teachers have left the arena, and it's time that we are the ones that we've been waiting for. Time to go public, time to share your light on the planet. I'm going to choose one card for you. They're saying one card for Beth.
I just want to say one thing. Can I just say one thing about that just came through as you were talking, was that it's almost like as if you were to remain angry at your parents. They taught you stuff that no longer applies. They gave you great information to even get you to go the opposite direction. But to be angry at them for that.
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't make sense of a light worker to be angry at their parents. I mean, they're blessed, their parents, for giving them, for their shoulders to stand on.
That's a perfect analogy, and I just want to share. You drew the High Lord of Gratitude and Service. Beautiful, beautiful card. These Colette Baron Reed cards, and I'll just read this out. The High Lord of Gratitude and Service has arrived to help you find your true purpose. Finding gratitude for every moment you experience, loving what is and what has been, will remind you that every breath you take holds a deep, profound awareness. Through selfless service to each other and non-judgment, we will step on our highest path. You're also notified that your actions of service and non-judgment and forgiveness and gratitude will yield riches beyond your wildest dreams. And so this is really the card of the higher path that we can all step on with this information that we've been given about Doreen. I'm blessing you, Beth. Thank you so much for calling in today.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Ariel. Angel, thank you. Much love to you.
Take care. We'll speak soon. Bye-bye. Let's go to our next caller. We have Christy in Iron River, Michigan. Christy, you're on the phone. How are you today?
Hi, how are you? I'm good. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. What is your question today?
Well, I just really want to get published. I wrote my book, and do you have any insight into me getting published?
I have great insight. Let go of being published. You wrote the book because God gave it to you. And for where it's going, and ask for this book, which God gave me, ask it to go out into the world for your greatest good and the greatest good of all concerned. I have self-published my books because that is what I was told to do. They said it's more. When I said, okay, send me a literary agent, send me a publisher, they said that's not the concern now. The concern now is for you to go write another book and share your light with others. And they want you to go have fun and be creative and find ways to share the knowledge and your extraordinary journey with others. Maybe you'll do a radio program. Maybe you will do a blog or a newsletter. Maybe it's by the more that you can share excitedly, enthusiastically, and passionately, Christy, that is the energy that will bring the opportunities and the connections to you to share what you love doing. You didn't write this book by happen chance. You want to share the title with everyone?
Retool your world from the inside out. It is you who creates your life.
Perfect. And you wrote this because of the journey that you chose. They want you to share your story with others. And then say, show me how best to serve, and for this book to travel far and wide to the most resonant opportunities and connections that will go out in the world. What will happen is either you will be brought a publisher or a literary agent, or will be brought to mind. The more you speak passionately and enthusiastically about it, that's the energies that go out. Or, like mine, I'm not with a publisher. If a publisher contacts me and offers me a book contract or something, I might go with them. I know my value, and I know my honor, and I know how important my messages were to get them out, even if it wasn't with a publisher. They want you to drop all expectation and attachment as to how the world needs to give to you, and for you to show up in the most enthusiastic way. This conversation will spark in you ways that you can creatively go forth. First card for you is the Ace of Wands. This is a new beginning, a new way that you can get your creative vision, your ideas, and your passion for what you love doing and your story out into the world. The next card, of course, is the Star card. See yourself as that bright star in the firmament. And published or not published, you could self-publish your book, but this is you're the star, and that should be your emphasis on shining your light out to the planet. And the next card, well, of course, what comes out for you is the Four of Wands, which is the celebration card. They want you to celebrate who you are, and it is through that they will bring you more opportunities and connections to celebrate. So I hope that's been helpful for you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Christy. God bless you. All the best. Bye-bye. And that, everyone, just about wraps the show up for today. I'd like to thank my callers. Thank you to all the listeners. Please don't forget that Angel Healing House Radio airs every week at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every Tuesday morning. And if you want to go to my website to check out my remarkable books, One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, speaking about my 5 most important past lives, and what the heck did I do in heaven between those lives with the Etheric Council and meeting my deceased relatives. And then the sequel to One True Home is I Am an Angelic Walk-In, about my extraordinary walk-in experience and how the former soul of Claire Candy walked out of her body on January 11th, 2003, and I, Angel Ariel, walked in. Until next time, everyone, please do allow your unique and special radiant light to shine forth on the planet and go forth and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. Love, and as always, angel blessings. And I'll speak with you again next week. Take care. Bye.